by the fact that the UAE maintains a level of attractiveness as regards foreign investment, which is quite remarkable, even in circumstances that are less flattering at the level of the world, with the problem of the green transition, with the problem of the, I would say, tensions, geostrategic tensions that are very dramatic in Europe and in the Middle East, and also with the overall, I would say, globalization more or less put into question, with the de-risking, even the will of decoupling, which exists here and there. The Europeans, by the way, are very much against any decoupling. They trust that the prosperity of the world relies very much on open trade. That being said, when I see that the UAE is number one of the Western Asia region in terms of FDI, with an enormous percentage of all the investments that are taking place in that region, and then the UAE is also number one of the FDI that are coming in the, I would say, Middle East, North Africa, MENA region, I take it that it is a proof of resilience in the circumstances and attractiveness for business, which is quite remarkable. And they are permanently comparing, of course, I would say, positives and the negatives are being here and there. And experience demonstrates that they know that there are a number of positives that are considerable here. Peace, stability, security, business-friendly environment, you name it. I mean, all this is the franchise of UAE, franchise of Dubai, clear enough. Well, first of all, here you have a very good central bank, which is taking care of the peg to the US dollar very well. There is absolutely full confidence, if I may. At the level of the Fed, as well as at the level of the ECB, I see the central banks being, as I would say, assertive as possible in ensuring that we are going back to price stability. We went through an episode which was highly unexpected, I have to say, of inflation, triggered by many factors, including the post-COVID recovery, including the war in Europe, which is also playing a very important role in pushing up price of fossil energy, and also food. So all this is part of the difficulty that the central bank have, but I have confidence that after 11 increase of interest rates in the US, 10 increase of interest rates in Europe, they will regain control of inflation according to their definition of price stability, which is around 2% in the medium term. So I am reasonably confident. Of course, it's difficult. It's not that easy. And when they say, we tell you, the market participants, the investors and savers, that we are likely to maintain rates at the present high level or a little bit higher. In the case of the US, we will see what they decide. But again, around the present level for a long period of time, I think the market participants have to take that for a very important sign, and not think, which they have the tendency to think, yeah, they say that, but they will decrease rates much more rapidly. I don't think it would be reasonable not to trust what the central banks are saying. Jay Powell is saying, Christine Lagarde is saying, we have to trust them, and we will see what happens, of course. But everything for them, and here also for the central bank, by way of consequence, is data dependent. So you have, when you are a central banker, you have to be pragmatic, take into account situation that changes, take into account new events, and be data dependent. It is the case in Washington, it is the case in Frankfurt for the ECB, and it is the case certainly here also. The Open Market Committee knows better, and I trust them to do whatever is necessary. What I know is that when they say we will maintain rates at a high level for longer than something, it has to be taken for granted. And on both sides of the Atlantic, in Europe as well as in the US, again, I exclude nothing but a rapid decrease of interest rates. But we will see what they decide. And in any case, in my opinion, they are right to say we will do whatever is necessary to get back around 2% in the medium run. Because if we don't do that, then we might be in a situation which would be worse. Not that far. I mean, it goes down progressively. If you take the last figure, of course, headline figure in Europe, it is quite going down. You don't underestimate the impact of what has been decided already. It is my working assumption. It is my belief. And of course, we have to take into account also of all events that can happen everywhere in the world. But I am reasonably confident that when they say in the medium term we are back to price stability, and they have the same definition of price stability, which is also very important. At a global level, we have for all the currencies that are members of the basket of the SDR, we have the same level of price stability, around 2% in the medium term.